got a problem. I am a mansplainer. I explain. It's the bane of my existence. No, I don't know if that works, but I explain. So, I learned a new technique, and it's called the cloak. It's called the cover. It's called the hide. Because a story in my head that I have realized is there. It hasn't really said, but it's there. It's working behind most of the things I'm doing. Is you must explain as if you're a dad. And I'm not a dad. I'm not a dad yet, and it's really like me being a dad. It's what the story is the State Farm commercial of when you know you're your parents and you're like helping out other people. My wife will tell me that I am that commercial, and I'll be like, what? And it's probably because of the longing to be a dad and trying to tell whatever is whatever. And so teach for teaching's sake, right? So to combat that story, but I've also known that people don't like being explained. And today I have discovered that I must keep it a mystery. And how you keep it a mystery is for yourself, you tell yourself that formula. So if I know the formula if I know the algorithm for a Rubik's Cube, I keep it to myself. And then I just solve the Rubik's Cube and people say, wow, you did it. And to them, it looks like magic. But to me, I'm just saying, right, up, right prime, up prime, right, up, forward, face prime. And so that is going on my head. But really, I have a mnemonic in there that I create a story in my head, and that's how I solve the Rubik's Cube. But that is me telling you and explaining how I do it. And yet I could have just kept it, but because there's a layer, it's like, so there's showing, there's what I did, and there's what's happening to learn what. And so it's like me explaining to learn is a process of explaining when I can just show you that I did the Rubik's Cube. Because if you want to reach a broad audience, you never tell them what to do. And this is kind of meta because it's like anti-meta, because it's like I'm telling you what to do. This is me telling me what to do, which is okay because I have that context and that I'm in this boat with me. So the strategy is, and I observed a lesson of this guy talking about ChatGPT and how you could use it. And on the thumbnail, it was the formula. But he didn't bring it up. He didn't even call it what it was. He didn't, Ikigai or whatever it was, where it's like, do this. He just went into examples, boom, boom, boom. And then that was his whole video. And I was like, this is actually amazing, because he got to the meat and the bones of actually showing where it's like, and he didn't attach the name because you don't really need to. So, because he holds the name, and if people are like, hey, what do you do? How do you do that thing? Then you send it to him. And that's just the thought is be like a cloak, like in Be Rock, where when Frodo fell on the steep thing in front of the gates of Isengard, he was cloaked by his friend. No, when Sam fell, Frodo came in and saved the day and cloaked them. So that's the whole point. Be a cloak, be a cover. And I'm telling myself, it's because I want to teach people, and this is where I'm getting at, is that sentence still exists of the longing to explain, but the sentence also, there's something inside me that says, but mystery and magic is also one of the things, is something that I love. So it's just like, not like fake magic, like illusion stuff. It's like, I like the mystery. I like that part. So I'm trying to couple those sentences together. Because it reminds me of one time when I've cloaked something, which is a win, is I learned one trick. Very sleight of hand, very simple. And it was the basis of a illusion that I would tell a story. I told a story way more than I did the trick. I was like, watch this, right? And that story and the illusion aided the story, and it was such a good thing. So what happened, I guess further context, further thing, is I did a card trick, and I said the card chooses you. And I would create this big story of how I'd look at what they're wearing. Oh, they're wearing red. Okay, it was a red card. Because I would know what the card was before they picked it. Because I picked it for them. Because I put it on the card. I put the top card, this is me explaining it, but I put the top card on, and then I simply did a sleight of hand, and I handed them that card and said, this is your card. And guess what? This card chose you. You said stop, but I told you this card chose you because I chose it for you. And I didn't say that part, but then all of a sudden I build a story, and I say, and I kind of dwindle it down. I bring it, it's like, you know, I create anticipation of, there's only 4 types of cards in the deck, clubs, spades, diamonds, and I'll go through it and I'll say diamond, you know, diamonds are, you know, I don't see any rings on your fingers, so it's not diamonds. I don't see any of this, so it's not this. And ooh, I'm seeing a lot of red. Actually, your whole friend group is red in the face because they're laughing so much. It's because you bring them joy. So I give them some fluff. It's, wow, and then they're like, what? Okay, you got something right. And then you do a little bit of magic, and then you can just say, you can work with it there. You put it back in the deck, you shuffle it, you just say, okay, now I'm going to find it. But then you do more card magic where you find it, and then you're saying, but before I show you your card. And then one time I did an even thing is I threw it, and I told a friend, I said, hey, I'm going to throw you this card, you just pick it up and you put it in their pocket. And then it was like a whole big thing because I told them the trick, and then I revealed the secrets, and then I did it, and it was great. So the whole point is story, cloaking the explanation and mechanics makes for a better story. So that is what it is. I'll say it again. Covering up the mechanics and just presenting the story is the better story.